Hold on. A tutorial you can't skip to unlock the actual game? I thought we were done with that. One sec. Tribes of Midgard is a confusing but pleasant combination of genres. It's primarily an action RPG with hearty chunks of roguelike and survival that is finished with a sprinkle of tower defense. Have you ever seen a child at a soda fountain use a little bit of every soda to make a drink? This game is that drink. This game does a lot right and a lot wrong. No aspect is safe. So while I can say the combat is good, it's far from all good.
Why? What? 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 It didn't zoom out.
You can't cancel your regular attacks by dodging or blocking, and the dodge is too long and awkward. So there are many instances where walking is better than dodging. The defensive actions are lacking, but the action registers very nicely. Everything from the basic swing of a one-hand axe to the towering boom of a fire maul sending flaming pillars before you. Watching yourself do increasing damage to the enemies is the dragon I kept joyously chasing. Each run I was trying to accumulate power even faster, sometimes flying too close to the sun, and dying next to those who also overestimated their waxen wings.
Oh, I got...
The game is ultimately fun, but there's a great deal that holds it back. With so many flavors going into one game, it's only natural that things get a little muddy. For example, the time limitation does a lot of good for the game, but it also makes the more time-consuming design choices stand out that much more negatively. When 3 easy enemies run from me in 3 different directions, it feels way too similar to a tailing mission. The time factor does add a lot of importance to your decisions, but it also added to my impatience with the jankier bits. So when I get stuck between a cliff and a ramp or accidentally end up in shin-high water that kills me, it just stings that much more knowing how much game time I've lost. This game has a bad relationship with time in a lot of ways. Yo, what's up, man? I saw you on this Tribes of Midgard game. Looked kinda cool, so I got it. Let's play together.
Fuck yeah, man. Listen, you gotta do a tutorial first, so I'm gonna go ahead and quit now and wait for you to do that, and I guess in the meantime, I'll strangle a raccoon and try to see God.
Classes are highly imbalanced, but what bothers me way more is how uninspired most of the classes are. When I open a skill tree, I want to see cool new abilities I can do, not passive bonuses that add 10% damage to whatever. The Warden is the only class that gave me a distinct flavor with its infinite ramps and teleport mechanics. But once people figure out how powerful Seer is, they're gonna have a hard time finding meaning in the other 6 non-Warden classes. The mandatory nature of combat can greatly dampen the fun when you just want to explore. Your aggro range is bigger than your sight range, so you will be constantly aggroing enemies you never saw. All loot should be instanced and it should pick itself up. I shouldn't have to hit F several hundred times every campaign. I shouldn't ever have to slowly fill bars either. I'm sad to say that this game is infested with unnecessary time sinks that hold the game back. The inventory is so bad, I started dropping my armor on the ground before buying new armor, just to avoid my own inventory screen. This game has a steeper learning curve than it should, and part of that is learning to harness the jankness. The game is so jank that the bulk of the story is actually put into the required tutorial. If Bambi's mom dying was part of a required tutorial, it would have played out way differently. She's probably fine. What kept me somehow coming back was the progression dragon. It was just too fun to chase. The trial and error really helps you appreciate how good runs are going as you're doing them. When a run is going well, it's like Odin is wrestling the stars into alignment just for you. When I first realized how good the quarry was, I would get spontaneous daydreams of how I would use all that sweet cut stone. Killing giants is what I will remember most distinctly about Tribes of Midgard, and if I'm being honest, the fights are a little on the brain-dead side, but the scale redeems quite a lot. The first time the camera zoomed out and I took in the full visual, it gave me some nice nerdy goosebumps. The gear check it represents is nice too. When I was able to down a towering Jotun with speed, it let me know I was, in fact, fucking badass in Odin's eyes. While I had fun with this game, I hesitate to recommend Tribes of Midgard to absolutely everyone. It's a strange, unpolished game that is more of an ambitious rough draft than a finished product. But I would recommend this game to nerds with a penchant for co-op or indie games. While all the moving parts in this game will routinely collide into each other, they will also run complementary parallels that come together nicely. My first successful campaign took many failed attempts and shallow water deaths before I finally gathered everything required to unlock the final boss door. Seeing Fenrir's cave for the first time was wondrous for me. For all the mistakes that were made along the way, The ending of this game really is great. It may be a strange combination of many different sodas, but Tribes of Midgard still tasted good to me.
Oh, it's so big.
Hey.
Hey, you know strangling me's not gonna let you see God, right?
What?